Welcome to Table Talk. I am Shannon and I'm here with the wonderful VJ. So excited. As you can tell, Sandy's not with us. I kind of feel like if Sandy's not here, we should do today only, a little sale or something, and
oh, right, I'm sure
because
she'd be ecstatic
we can do
that.
whatever we want if she's not here.
We could do 25% of the whole
Right,
the whole store.
Yeah, something.
We're
something
not, by the
exciting.
way.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that, but I've been tempted to do it in the past. So anyway,
I've never done it before without Sandy, so I'm kind of feeling like, okay.
I've done it with her without Sandy before, and it is kind of a little disconcerting because sometimes, in fact, when it aired after I did it without Sandy, I thought I'm going to look like an idiot, and I watched it and I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought, because in my mind I'm going, what are you talking about? Yeah. But it works out.
She's
and
always this cool stabilizing.
She is. She just
Yes.
and she's always like, I don't have anything to say, but she always does. So anyway, so we're excited to be here today. So do you want to show us what you've got working on?
Okay, well,
You've always got exciting stuff working on.
well, I don't know how exciting this is, but
It looks cute from over here.
I'm just giving this to the quilter today, but I'm making a quilt out of the dwell.
Oh, I love these colors.
Which is, it's a moto line by Camille Ross Kelly.
Yes.
And so it's just stars. And it's a really big quilt.
Should we open?
Really, really big quilt.
I think we talked about this one, you and I. Did we talk about you right before you did this? I'm thinking
Probably.
because it is a beautiful, and the colors are amazing.
I think the colors are lovely, and but I think it's going to be really, 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 really nice. I can't say really too many times here, but anyway, I think it's going to be a really fun quilt, and
Well, and I like it's like blue, but I like the pops of red and the
I
green,
do too.
and I really like that this is what
I
you've
love the
chosen to put
gray.
here.
I love the gray in there. I think that's really nice.
It's just subtle enough.
Right, and I had contemplated doing this just in the blue fabrics, and then I don't know, I kind of felt like scrappy would be really fun too, just
Right.
adding all the fabrics that, many of the fabrics that we had from that line. So I do think it's really a fun quilt. So
Which is really cute. Oh, it looks like you cut these into rectangles.
yeah, these were cut
So it's
into
not even-
rectangles, and this is
oh.
from, and it's so Emma book. It's a half-yard quilt book. So it's actually supposed to take half yards, 8 half yards of fabric, but I use 16 fabrics, so we're using,
Hence, it made it just a little bigger for you.
yes.
No,
So-
I love it. And sometimes it's nice too because I love having throw quilts and I love being able to put those around my house. But then somebody could come in and go, I would love that for my bed, and it would fit.
Yes, it would. This would be a great one.
Is
So
it this one?
it's all blue and white.
All blue and white.
Oh, you just passed it.
Oh, yes. This one.
Yes. So it is that one. So the book is just called Simply Half Yards.
No, I don't think I have that book.
Oh, it has a different feel, but I like yours. It gives it a little more
It does have
pop.
a little bit different feel to it because of the variety of colors. But I think I like it though. So
No, this is really pretty. And so I'm assuming we're going to have kits.
yes, I have cut the kits, excepting the white, but it'll be a couple of weeks probably before we have those ready. So okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Beautiful.
What are you working on?
Well, I did bring one thing I'm working on. I did not bring quilts because I kind of like to share some cross stitch and stuff
Oh,
that
cool.
we have going on at my house. And I was going to bring Nicole. Nicole's doing that Little Women quilt, and I was going to bring her next block, and I pulled it out and I ran upstairs to grab a couple things from Erica and ran downstairs and ran past the Little Women block. So I didn't bring it. So a while ago I shared this that I'm working on, and I don't have a lot of progress, and it's because this is kind of project that I bring just when we're doing sundown stitchers. And I haven't been the last 2 months. We were just talking before, we've had a cold. We've had 2 colds go through my house, and so we haven't come, and I've been pretty much watching movies and not stitching. So I did have pink eye, so
Oh, yes, I remember.
that kind of prevents me from doing
I remember
too many
doing
things.
that.
So this is not this pattern, it's this one. This is Little House Needleworks. Oh, and cute Wendy that works here, she says, slow down when you say the name so that I can hear better. So it's Little House Needleworks, and it is the quilt shop. And so I got to start on this. Little funny story about my dad. You know, I like to talk about my dad and his little projects. So here, this is as far as I've gotten. So I haven't gotten very far. But my dad is so picky, and he is a scroll bar cross stitcher.
Oh, yes.
He is not a hoop stitcher. He's not an in-hand stitcher. He is total scroll bar. So I had taken this over to their house because I thought, oh, maybe I'll work on it, which I don't know why I think I'm going to work on stuff at their house, because I never do. I'm always too busy chatting and doing stuff or whatever.
Right.
But my dad saw this, and he's like, oh, maybe I want to work on some of that for you. So then he hands me scroll bars. And he says, I have to have it on a scroll bar, so you're gonna have to put it on the scroll bar for me. And I said, well, I can just whip it right on. He's like, oh, it takes a good 2 hours to get that on a scroll bar. And I thought, what the heck are you doing to put it on the scroll bar? Because, it's just a big base and, twirl, but for him. So anyway, I did not obviously get it on scroll bar because I thought, well, I think I want to work on it just a little bit more. So I had a different project that I already had on scroll bars. So last night I went over to their house for a little while, and I took that project, and he undid the whole thing.
He picked
He
yours.
undid my scroll bars. He redid. I didn't. My things. My linen hadn't been serged, so he taped my linen. And then, and he didn't like the way the scroll bar was, so he was like gluing and getting new screws for it. And I'm like, this is why it takes you 2 hours to put something on a scroll bar. And he told me, he's like, you talk about this on Table Talk, I will never do another one of your projects, but I'm talking about it anyway.
Oh, so you're sending a message.
Yes,
Sending a message.
I'm sending a message. So, but I think what it is, my dad has a project he's doing right now, and it's a big project, like pages, and it's a completely fill project. And I think he's done completed almost 4 pages. I think he has just a little corner of the 4th page, and then it's got like 2 more pages.
Oh, my heavens.
So I think that's why he wants something that just is easy.
Oh, yeah, understandable.
So anyway, and he doesn't like the one he's doing that's big, and so you have a hard time doing a project if you don't like it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, he doesn't like that big one.
He's not fond of it. And I told him, I said, I think I would just not do it, but he feels like he needs to see something through.
Right.
So anyway, so I did bring Erica a couple of things that Erica's done. This one she has almost finished. I didn't get it ironed. This is out of the Seasons of the Heart, and I know we've talked about this book before.
Oh, I love that book. I bought that.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything out of it yet.
So she's done the autumn and winter. This one is winter. She's missing part of the border because we cannot find a endive. She needs a Gentle Art sampler thread endive, and you know how hard it is to find those overdyed flosses. So,
So the border goes through here.
no, this. So you have these little plaques that you tie on. So let's see. It's these little green leaves. That's what she's missing. And we don't have it here. And Kathy and Sandy try to order stuff in, but these overdyed flosses, they just kind of mail you stuff, and they never back order your floss. They just cancel it. So then you have to try to order again. And so I'll probably check at the craft center and see if they have it. Although there's a couple other flosses she needs, and the craft center hasn't had it. So it was Erica's birthday not too long ago, and we were sick. And she said to me, can we kind of as a belated birthday go to Shepherd's Bush? And a lot of
Northern
times,
Utah, right?
yeah. So it's about an hour, would you say, from here?
A good hour.
Yeah. So I mean it, and for us, it's like that's a long way to go. You know, I know a lot of people in other states and whatnot. You know, that's like they're normal for them, but.
Right.
But so I think we'll try to maybe make a little jaunt there. And I have called them, and they're really good. They get it in the mail right away. I call them and they have it. So anyway, so she's almost got this one done. She'd really like to just complete it, but we can't find that. So this project of Erica's, I really like this, but she's put it in timeout
Oh,
because
On this project.
yeah, it's actually off just a little bit and it's frustrating her. So this is a Little House Needleworks pattern. It's called Cocoa Cafe. And I just think it's really cute with those cute little gingerbread men. Although as I'm looking at it, I'm guessing I'm gonna have to be doing some French knots for her because she doesn't do those, so.
oh, okay.
Anyway, she actually had this little gingerbread boy off by 2. And I told her, I said, if you put this one off the exact same amount this one is, I don't think it's going to matter. But
Is that what she did?
I'm not sure. I haven't counted through yet to find out, but she's kind of frustrated with it. So she's put it on in timeout, and I'll take a look at it. She usually brings it down and has me count and see if I can figure out what's happened. So I'll take a look at it and see, and then she can decide. But it looks like she's pretty close to being done with this one too. And I like that she's got the little cupcake needle minder because it's bakery. She tries to match her needle minders. So
Oh, how fun.
anyway, so there's that one. And then this is the one that she's been working on the most lately. She has a lot of stuff in progress, so I didn't bring everything, but she's been working on this one quite a bit. This one is called Snow Village. Yeah. And this is a Country Cottage Needleworks. So this is one of those, if you did like the Nutcracker or the Fall Village, where, you know, there's several patterns. You can do them individually or you can put them in one. So she's, going to put them all in one. But this is kind
Very
of,
sweet.
yeah, it's just really cute. And, you know, we need more completed projects hanging on hangers at my house.
Absolutely.
There's never, you know, too many.
Absolutely.
Also, she added the house.
So yeah, so they're all these little individual ones. There's quite a few houses. And she actually seems to really like these. I bought her one for her birthday. It's called Frosty Friends. She hasn't started that one yet. So there's just all these different little houses that she's working
So
on.
she's going to be putting, what, 2 or 3 along
Yeah.
here and some up here as
Right,
well.
right,
Okay.
right. Yep, there's several in both spots. So it looks like that's probably that one. So she has, the way she likes to do her cross stitch is she has a big and oversized iPad. And then she takes pictures of them, and then she just takes the iPad, like if she goes somewhere, she just takes the iPad. She doesn't take the patterns, and then she can kind of highlight, and it helps her keep track of where she's at.
My granddaughter does that too. So,
The younger generation that knows what they're
know.
doing with technology.
yeah, I don't.
I don't either, so.
I have seen her iPad, and then I think it's a cool idea. You can just cross off.
Yeah, she
the
just kind of
roll.
highlights
Yeah.
what she's done. And
Yeah.
so I had to kind of dig around and try to find all her patterns because she files her patterns and just keeps everything on the iPad. So anyway, so just a couple things, and she got all these patterns here. So
Cool.
I don't know if we have them in stock, but if it's something that you're interested in and we don't have it,
Well, we can
we
always
can
get
order it in.
Always get it.
Absolutely.
Kathy is continually ordering in
Just new things.
cross
that are
stitch patterns for me.
yes.
So
But we're getting new things all the time too.
we do.
So I love it.
Yeah, I do too. It just is, I never make a paycheck.
Well, you're with the crowd here.
Yeah, that's why Sandy calls us investors,
Oh,
not employees.
okay, I had not heard that one before, but I can understand.
Yeah, it works,
So-
so doesn't it? Yeah.
It does.
Yes, we're
Absolutely.
Definitely investors. So
That's very true.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so what have we got new in the store, Emerald?
We have this line, and then I know a lot of you have seen this book.
This is a really cute book.
A lot of our ladies in the store have said that they kind of want to do a quilt in this book.
Yeah, it's a fun book. It's called Fruit Salad, and all the patterns are like different fruits. And it's just fun and bright and springy, and
It is.
it's just
And it
really,
seems so different to me for fig tree, though.
Yeah.
They do different things, but
yeah,
it's-
like here's like the apple
Oh.
one. It's just really, really cute. I had wondered, like, if you wanted to put something in your kitchen, I was wondering if you could figure out how to,
Size it down.
I love
or
that
do a little
one.
bit.
The
Yeah, this
one.
lemon is just adorable.
I love that one.
But I just was like, I wonder if you could figure out how to do a bunch of different fruits. Just make a,
I think the orange one is cute too.
yeah, it's oranges. So it's just kind of a bunch of different fruits. And then this line came out with it, which I just love the cherries.
Mm-hmm.
I just love this color here. But you know, it's got the fruit and the flowers in some of them, and it's a beautiful line. It's bright and springy, and I'm ready for this.
I know, it's happy. It's happy.
It's happy.
I
But
just,
you know, they said on weather today that it could be continuing with the snow throughout the month.
What?
No,
I
I'm
thought we
kidding.
were like spring already.
I was hoping, and
But
sometimes I just never know what to wear in the mornings.
I know. I always just wear something warm. Because
I know.
it's cold.
I know. Well, and it gets so cold, and it's just so dry. So dry. So anyway, so this is an amazing, and I don't think this is going to last long.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, we
either.
don't really have a lot left.
Yeah, and we film ahead of time, so there's a chance by the time this airs that
We're
a lot of it's going to be
reorder.
gone, or
Yeah.
we'll have to try to.
But it is fun fabric, so.
It is really pretty fun. fabric.
Something I want to mention is that our broken dish quilt has been rekitted. I was not
Oh.
expecting that, I have to be honest, because it's such a big quilt kit.
It's a
It's a
big,
And
big-
it's a big quilt.
it takes
is
a
a
lot
big
of
quilt.
time. It's not,
Is that the pattern, Emerald?
Oh yeah.
it's
Sorry.
not,
The
No, no,
quilt
it's
is up here.
it's just, this is a time consuming project, but it's an heirloom quilt,
It
once
is.
again.
Scrappiness is Happiness by Lori Holt. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful quilt that I think was Kathy and Sandy's sister put together.
Right.
And it's a very popular one, but it's very striking when you walk in the store. It's
Oh, it
very, very
is.
striking. So
It is.
it's a really, really pretty.
Is this something you would do, VJ? I feel like
It is
it is?
absolutely
Totally
something
looks
I
like
would
you,
do.
yeah.
Mhm. I've been tempted to buy the kit, but then I think, you know, I have all that fabric at my house, but
You probably could put something together.
probably.
So with that one, since it's a book, the pattern is not in the kit. But if you buy the kit, you get a discount on the book.
Absolutely.
So
Always
just kind of a
25%
reminder.
off.
Yeah, you get 25% off if our quilts come out of a book. We give you a discount on the book.
Right. And that book is great because everything in it, you could just, you know, if you've got a lot of scraps like me, you could probably make 10 quilts
And get rid of scraps.
and get rid of, yes, because all those patterns in there are great for using scraps.
Perfect.
Are they more? Do you have the book yourself? Are they more towards like medium or higher? I mean, how do you say?
I
More
think they're-
advanced.
I think they're
Quilter.
intermediate and above.
Okay.
I do.
The skill level.
I definitely do.
Okay.
That would be fun projects.
Yeah, I just don't think that broken dishes, you'd want to make that as a first project.
No.
No, I don't
Not
think
me.
so either.
I look at it. I'm like, no. I'm just gonna make those pillow kit. That's fine. It's small enough. I can just mess up and it's fine.
I had to show this because Shelly, we have this pattern in.
Oh, it's cute.
Shelly made this.
And so Shelly is making this version, which is the small quilt. And
adorable.
so this is the little horse block.
So cute.
Is that so cute?
It's really cute.
Really cute.
So she got that done. I thought that was so fun. I'm like, Shelly, I need to show that tomorrow.
That
at 10
pattern
o'clock.
is well done. It's really
Yeah.
cute.
And this is like one of the #1 selling quilt patterns, and it just came out, but it's so cute.
It is really
So
cute.
we'll be having that in the store. I also thought I'd show, so yesterday Kathy and I pulled for this pattern here. We did the ornaments
Mm-hmm.
and from Bareroots for Christmas, and we did the Easter eggs last year for Easter. So we are doing these ornaments. So last night I cut out for my mom all the little pumpkin shape pieces. And then I thought that this was a good idea to share. So then I took each of the group of pieces that it takes for the pumpkins.
For each ornament.
For each ornament or
pumpkin
pumpkin.
ornament, yeah.
And I just put her little felt pieces after I cut them out in little baggies. So that when she's ready to do them, she can just take the little parts.
Oh, how
back.
cute.
And one thing is
cute.
she gives you the pattern to cut out all these little tiny little little circles. Like everything has these little circles.
There's a lot of them.
The bubbles on the cauldron and everything. Well, if you iron your freezer paper to the back of your wool felt and then just use a hole punch, it punches out your all those little circles.
Oh my goodness.
So then you don't have to cut out
Little tiny.
all those little circles everywhere. So,
good plan.
anyway, so we have these kits in the shop, and
You can get started.
Mom's
right
getting
now.
started on those for me. So
So cute.
that's all I thought I'd share.
Okay.
I'll pop out.
Thanks for stopping by.
Let's talk about this item. I think it's pretty cool.
Little binding clips.
I
Numbers.
just wish they were in red.
I know. I say BJ's favorite color is red. My favorite color is blue. So this is right up my alley. I love this container though.
I do too.
It's
People are buying
adorable.
this because they like the container so much.
It's really cute. So it's got that cute little bird on the top. It's adorable.
It is. It's very
It actually
sweet.
looks really cute just kind of sitting in this bowl.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
So yeah. there
Yeah,
you
so
go.
you can purchase the dough bowls. They were part of our cross stitch club, which is sold out. And I've had a lot of emails. I probably have had in the last 2 days another 25 to 30 emails, people wanting to be on a wait list for that club. So, but you can purchase the bowls, and you can do, there's all kinds of small patterns. You can kind of put something together yourself, and those bowls are good to have. We have the white and the brown, and we also have a heart-shaped one, I think, that came in.
Yeah.
They haven't all sold out yet, have they?
They
We
are
have quite a few
restocked.
of those.
Okay. So yeah, so there's some variety if you want.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway.
And I'm gonna show a project a real small project. From time to time, our audience always asks, "Can we have more like small projects?" Blah blah, blah. And then so it takes time for us to find patterns and find instructions for you that's accessible
Right.
that we don't have to write.
Right.
So I'll just sneaking behind you two, show a little.
Cute Emerald will join us. I'm going to pull them a little closer, Emerald, so you can reach them.
Yes, that'll be good. So these are just some little, they call it sunglasses case.
Mm-hmm.
You
And we
can
did
also-
try. My phone did fit.
Yes. So you can put your phone, and then it would just be hanging wherever on the door, or when you're charging, you want it to hang by the wall. It's a really easy pattern. We'll give you the link, and then you just need these 3 things sewn together, and then it's complete. It's like a 10-minute project.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice.
and these are our giveaways today.
Yeah, Emerald was kind enough to say that she's going to give away one of these. So leave us a comment so that you can win a cute little case. I would love this in my car for my sunglasses because I'm always
that's
trying
a
to
great
stick them on
idea.
a shelf or something, and then they slide off. But if you have them hanging in this little case.
That's what I was thinking too, because they're lightweight, and
Yeah.
then you can just hang either on your mirror.
Yeah,
or
and it's
something.
not that big of a deal. So, and this one works so well with my phone. I don't know if Emerald will notice if it's just missing.
And notice she did those out
Missing
of
your
the
phone.
The fabric we just showed.
Yeah.
Yes.
cute fabric.
It's
so.
really cute, really, really cute. So, good job, Emerald.
Thank you.
I always love to see what you're doing. This is not something that I would ever do because I don't know, stuff like this always just kind of intimidates me.
Really?
It kind of does, yeah.
Like a 3D kind of, how do you say? Because I feel like quilt is just,
Yeah.
it's like a sheet.
Right,
But this is it has a body
right.
to it.
So, what do you have in here?
I
You've got
have
some sort
the
of
fusible fleece.
Oh,
You can put whatever actually. So you put the interface in between to just let it sit however you want. If you want it in the car, you don't have to put in fusible fleece if you want it just hanging.
Right.
So
Well, I think it's nice to give it just a little bit of body, and it probably will wear a little bit better with something in there, I would
That's
think.
true.
You could put just a little piece of batting too.
yeah, that's true.
A little scrap of
You
batting.
can just
So
put
I have so much of that.
You could make a bunch of these, VJ.
I will put that on my list.
You should. Every doorknob in your house.
I figure, like, you know, you guys do the big project, so I'm here doing the small project. It's kind of fair, you know.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you should do some big projects too.
I'm not sure how good I'll perform.
I bet you'd be fantastic. You do good work. You do really good work. So,
Absolutely.
and this quilt that's on the table, I'm sure we still have kits for this one.
We
I
do.
know-
We do.
I know Emerald has been putting them on social media, and I don't remember what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
It's called Simple Plaid.
Plaid? Simple plaid. It's
And
a
I
beautiful
love this.
quilt.
I love this quilt.
Mhm.
It's
It's a beautiful
so,
quilt.
so pretty.
Yeah, and just fresh
Yes.
and ready for the warmer weather.
Yes.
Neither you or I is dressed for warmer weather
No.
because it's still cold.
Today's -2 degree.
It was
Yeah, this morning. Just
It-
7 a.m.
Celsius.
I think that's Celsius.
Celsius. Okay, because I was saying when I was getting dressed, I usually look at the temperature to see, and it was 28. I was like, oh, I'm putting warm clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was windy too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Emerald, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about a little mixed, because we have people who wants to know, like, how do you cut your bias strips that will stay in the shape, that will not, like, how do you say, stretch out
Yeah.
over time. And then we talk about some other mitered and butted corners the other week too.
I think sometimes people are rather intimidated by bias. I do think the number one thing to do is when you're pressing your fabric, make sure that you mist it, and with best press. And
So
I
do you want
always
to
do that.
kind of say when would you use a bias binding?
I would use a bias binding when I was doing anything with curves, or if I wanted my stripes or plaids to be
A certain
a
direction.
certain direction. I know there are some people, and it kind of surprises me, but there are some people that really, really always cut their bias or their binding on bias, and I don't.
Oh, you don't do that?
I never do that unless I want it to have,
I'm the
unless I
same
have
way.
curves,
Yeah.
or unless it's
You want a
just
stripe to
a
be.
stripe or something.
Yeah, and I'm the
Yes.
same way. I never cut mine on
Yeah,
bias.
because I don't see an advantage to it. But some people really swear by the fact that it just lays better. They like the look better. But it takes. I don't know. It was interesting. It really does not take any more fabric. That's something that was surprising to me. Because I have to say I did try doing a continuous bias binding. In fact, I'm going to show you a little bit about that today. But I had never done a continuous bias. But there's little charts online that you can find that will tell you, like, I think for like 380 inches of binding, you can use like a 31-inch square piece of fabric.
Wow.
I mean, and most people always buy an extra quarter or a half a
Right.
yard for bias, and that's just not necessary.
You can have a lot of
have a
extra fabric, and then you can make those
cost down.
scrappy quilts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We have options
So,
now.
yeah.
That
Yes,
cost less.
yes. So as I said, if you want to just cut your bias binding without doing any kind of a continuous, if you would want to just open up your fabric, and I just cut this piece because I didn't want to chop up a whole
Right.
big chunk of fabric. But you always want to open it up. Okay, so that's your first thing you're going to do. And then, I'm going to turn it around over here. And then I always line this up, and I would definitely use a big cutting mat. This is just for
Showing
purposes. And take and fold it on your 45-degree line. And I apologize for these lines. I was messing around last night when I was getting ready. And then you can take and fold this over like this. And I'm just going to show you what you can do here. You could just take and I always just take and cut off that very, very fold here. And I'm not very straight. Let me get that straighter. Okay. Then you can go ahead and just turn this fabric around. And you can go ahead and cut your strips like this. And I'm going to just cut, I think I'll just cut 2-inch strips just for the purpose of ease here. Normally my binding I cut is 2 1/4, but I do like a 2-inch on certain occasions. But then you can see I've got my strips that are cut on the diagonal.
And this is
Okay.
one that I probably would do on the bias because
Yeah.
the interest of
Uh-huh.
the
And
fabric.
then you've already got your ends diagonal, so you can just take and line this up. And when you sew that together, you're going to offset that, of course. And then you can just put that together, and then you've got your bias.
Oh,
Okay?
it's perfectly matched.
So
I mean, the direction.
And then would
Right.
you keep cutting 2 inches?
I would continue all the way over.
Okay,
Okay?
perfect.
So I decided, like I said, to try
The continuous one.
the continuous one. And so I just, it's something that's interesting. I, like I told you earlier, I had never done this before. This was my very first experience. So what you want to do is you start off with a square. And I did watch several videos. You start off with a square, cut it across diagonally, and then you're going to
Oh, sew them together.
sew them together. So this is bias, and this is bias.
Oh, okay.
Okay, these are your straight. And so you're going to be, at that point in time, after you get this sewn together, and you'll want to look at a really good video online for sure. And there's one by Whitney Sews that I found to be the very best, to be honest with you. She should give me money for saying that. But anyway, that one was the best. But then you are going to go ahead and draw your lines, okay, on here after you get this sewn together. And you can draw 2 inches, 2 1/4. If you wanted smaller, you can do whatever. But you're going to just continue and make sure you're drawing on the bias of the fabric, on the diagonal. Don't be drawing on this straight grain because you're not going to get what you need, okay? And I always just use my pencil. This pencil always works really
Your
well.
red pencil.
Oh, actually, yes. And I would just continue and draw all these lines and draw as many as you can. Now, usually you get to the end and you might have a 1/2 inch or 1 inch left over. Cut that off,
Okay.
Don't
okay?
use that.
Don't use that. So you get all your lines, okay? And then you're going to pin that together. I should have drawn a couple more lines so I can just show you how to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be confused.
So would you do any prep work of this fabric before you are?
I sprayed this with Best Press when I was pressing it last night, because this is just a fabric I had stuck in my, one of 3 million pieces of fabric.
It's cute. I like it.
And by the way, I'm not probably exaggerating by far. I know, I don't know if I've shared this, but I know one of the last times my daughter came over, she looked in my sewing closet, because I have a closet about the size of a bedroom, small bedroom, that it has all my fabric in it. And she said, "Mother, every time I come over, it looks like you have more fabric." Well, dear. So, oh, and by the way, I should have just cut this piece off.
That's a piece you don't
Yeah,
need to.
I don't need that at all. Okay. Kathy, I'm being really careful of your quilt. I'm not going to cut that. Okay, so you have your lines all on here. And then what you're going to do is you take and you have to line this up. So you want to offset it. You don't want to have the line matching up with the line that's across. You want to have the one next to it. So you're going to have a tail on this side and a tail over here on this side.
Okay.
Okay, I know that sounds really weird, and you want to make sure that it matches 1/4 of an inch down because that's where you're going to be.
Oh, all your lines you draw will
Right.
match.
And I'm not going to do this absolutely exact. I just want to kind of give you a feel for it right this minute. So you would go ahead and get that pinned, and then you would sew your 1/4 inch seam, press your seam.
Along where the pins are.
Yes.
And
And you
1/4
can-
inch is going to go along this
Yes.
top. Okay.
And you can see that's really weird and it's funky looking, but it's supposed to be.
Okay.
And so here it is after I have, you
The
can see
next
I've
step.
sewn the seam right here and pressed it.
Okay.
And then I can take my scissors, and it's really cool. I think for the next time I do any kind of bias binding, I will certainly use this technique because it was a fun thing to try and do. And so the thing I wish you could do is rotary cut this rather than cut it with a scissor.
True.
Because I do think you get a better cut than you're kind of wobbly with the scissors, but I do have these really nice, what are these, K. Buckley
The
scissors?
perfect scissors. Yeah, we talk about those a lot because they are fantastic
They are
scissors.
They are.
Yes.
And so you can see I'm not a great cutter. I do better with,
Rotary
I'm-
cutter.
and I'm trying to hurry too.
It is. I'm surprised that VJ is amazed by this technique after her whole life of sewing.
Well, sometimes when you're a really old creature like I am, you kind of get stuck in your ways, and you don't get out of that.
Well, and I'm amazed by
So-
all the people that figure all this out.
Yeah.
I know
I would
it.
have never figured this out. It never would have occurred to me to try to play with this and do
I
this.
agree.
And then, I also wonder, did they figure this out because they want to use less fabric, or do they just want to save some time? You don't have to
Right.
be cutting and then sewing the strips.
So you can see I'm just cutting along here though.
Just kind of goes round and round.
Yes.
And it's all sewn.
I mean, is that just the
Wow.
coolest thing ever?
It is.
I mean, it's really awesome. So, I mean, I would suggest trying it, especially if you're trying to do some kind of, bias binding. So I think it's a really good, fun thing to just try and experiment on. So the other thing that you had mentioned is that regarding mitered or butted up corners. And I brought this quilt today that I've done. I did this a couple of centuries ago. This was done out
red.
of a French. Yes, my favorite. This is a quilt that is actually, I have it hanging over a chair in my bedroom. But I just wanted to show you, this is a place where I actually mitered the corner. And the reason I did miter it was because I wanted to have this continuous sort of design right around here. And I think it's, when you're trying to do that, that's a real definite time when you want to do a mitered corner. This particular one, I did not miter this. I don't feel like it needed it.
Oh,
But
you just sew on
I
here.
just butted up the edge.
Because the design of the fabrics is so already kind of continuous.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. If it was a bigger, bolder kind of floral design, it would be a nice time to do a mitered corner. But I don't know. This is one of my favorite quilts, because I love red and because.
It's a beautiful quilt.
But anyway, it's a really fun.
And yeah, it does look, this does give it more of a continuous
Yeah.
It really does.
look with that. In fact, when I had to kind of look to see if you had applique or, you know.
Oh, right. And the gal who quilted it really did a fun design
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
it,
she
too.
did a good
So-
job with
Really
it.
cool.
So she did a great job.
And then I somehow feel like VJ kind of take a look of these two strips and then still say, does it look continuous?
Right.
You know, like and cut off
Right.
the extra.
Yeah.
So, and that's one thing you can do if you want to be real fastidious about it. You can try to
Match it up.
as close as possible.
Yeah.
So definitely. It's
beautiful. So I think that's all we have today.
Yes. And then the question for this week, sorry, let
Oh,
me
yes.
jump in, is have you tried any other
Binding methods.
Yeah, binding methods.
Okay.
Let us know. Or
Or
like,
yeah, if you've got a channel that you liked that, you know, somebody has shown how to do a binding method, let us know. And we can check them out and see what you think. And the prize is one of Emerald's cute little,
where did I put it? Yes.
one of her cute little eyeglass or phone case or whatever. You can hang in your car and then you don't lose your sunglasses or your phone. So thanks for joining us and we will see you next week.